Front. Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom. We are going to be taking a look at the JASMY price set one more time. Right now, almost everybody is not hopeful on the JASMY price set, but I think it's in these moments too that we have to look back and try to see, okay, when the times were great, what really were we looking forward to? How realistic was that? And honestly speaking, exactly where we are sitting, can we actually expect something better to happen here for the JASMY price set? Or from here onwards, it's going to be lights out. I'm going to be trying to address all those things. And we are also going to be taking a look at the shorter time frame perspective here on the JASMY price set. So without me further running my mouth too much, let's quickly jump right into the daily time frame here. We've got JASMY on the left, and then we also have got the market cap of Cardano back then in 2018, 2019, 2020, that bear cycle, right? So what we are seeing basically is that JASMY is pretty much exhibiting the same kind of structure here. And if you remember, we have really been focusing on this thing, saying that if we continue on this trajectory here on the JASMY price set, we are likely going to be hitting a price target of something like 86 cents. That was great. Obviously, it's one of our best case scenarios. But of course, if that is sounding too high, I will show you another chart that also has got much lower price targets for the JASMY price set, if you will. So it's very much clear here that the market makers have just decided to follow what the Cardano price was doing back then. That even the Ethereum chart in the same period was doing pretty much the same thing here that the JASMY price set is doing. So if you had followed each and every single step here, like what we did in the bear cycle, right? Some people consider us lucky, but the thing is, it was experience from the other previous bear cycle that actually helped us to take a look at the structure and say, look, we are pretty much repeating the same thing. So let me go ahead and highlight some kind of similarities that we are seeing. You see this kind of a support level here. That's also the same kind of support level that you see here. Even the topping structure for the Cardano price set right here is almost the same thing that you are seeing here for the JASMY price set. I mean, take a look at this rally before the whole thing capitulates. This is also what we are seeing with Cardano right here. And what is actually very much more interesting is when we set this low right there, right? We also have got this like kind of a double top that happens here, which we are also seeing the JASMY price that is doing. Mind you, these are very different times altogether. This was between like in the year 2022 and 2023. This is actually something like 2019, 2018, and the early parts of 2020. Now, another similarities was this creek here to the downside here. Now, Cardano was also experiencing the same thing, except that when Cardano was ready to move to the upside, just like what the JASMY price set was doing here, the pandemic happened, and then it had to be forced, obviously, to set a new low. So the conclusion here is, what are we expecting for the JASMY price to do? As I said earlier on, I would expect a price target of something like 86 cents should JASMY follow in the footsteps of this structure here, because the Cardano structure was managing to reach as high as 2.618 Fibonacci extension level. That is something like 86 cents here for the JASMY price. That's great. But of course, if you think that this is unrealistic, I will just go ahead and show you another chart. Now, in this situation, we have got the JASMY price set on top. Then we also have got the Velo price set down below that. You can also see that the market maker is pretty much repeating the same thing. Now, of course, the interesting thing is that these things are happening at different times altogether. So the JASMY fractal here is between November 2021 and where we are today. So when I look at the structures, I'm very confident that the market makers are actually repeating the same thing. I mean, you can also see the way the bottom was coming in right there, and then you also have got this kind of a mini rally before you head into somewhat of a creek that doesn't set a new low. It was also the same thing happening here for the JASMY price, except that this for the JASMY price was taking a little bit longer than that. And then of course we also do the same thing here for the Velo price. Now of course with the Velo price there was this range which needed to be escaped, and that's where the JASMY price set is right there. And I think this is actually a make or break moment for the JASMY price set, because all the fractals that we have from the Ethereum price, from the Cardano price, from the Velo price, from the JASMY coin price, and all the other different fractals that we were looking at, this range here was not a level that was broken to the downside. So for now, I'm definitely hanging everything on this 1.4 cents here for the JASMY price that is the main support level. If we break below 1.4 cents here for the JASMY price, I would not be very much confident on us continuing to follow these fractals that we have been talking about. I will also show you more, maybe like the Ethereum price, so you have a clear understanding of what we are talking about. But eventually what we are anticipating here for the JASMY price to do is of course to continue the structure. So again, the way we measure our move price targets is from the very top of the structure to the bottom using Fibonacci retracement tools. Again, we're seeing the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level being hit perfectly right there. So should we also come here to JASMY and pretty much do the same thing, we will realize that 1.618 Fibonacci extension level takes us to right around, I think in this situation, 54 cents. Let's go ahead and do that from the very top to the ultimate bottom here for the JASMY price. That you clearly see that your 1.618 is right around, okay, in the situation here it's showing 50 cents or 51 cents. That's still within the range of 54 cents. So that is okay. That is great. But as I said, this is not the only chart that we have. We can also refer to another one. And of course, in the situation, we have got Ethereum. Now, you may see the charts to be looking a little bit different here. The reason is that we changed our scale from the log scale to the linear scale. So you obviously have a different look. But still, we are seeing that JASMY here is also repeating what the Ethereum price was doing back then. If you really don't see it just yet, I mean, take a look at this sharp waves to the downside here, the correction. We also have the same thing here for the JASMY price. Take a look at this small rally before the whole thing flattens out here. We are also having the same thing here for the Ethereum before the whole thing just goes into a cycle. And it appears that if you just look at things at face value, where we are right now with JASMY here is almost this moment where the breakout was actually beginning here for the Ethereum price. But I think I have to stress this point one more time, that we have to hold these lows here on the JASMY price at right around 1.4 cents. But again, going back to price targets, what really are we looking forward here for JASMY to do? Again, the standard way of measuring this price targets is from the very top here to the bottom using our Fibonacci retracement 2. And in the situation for Ethereum, we saw the price going as high as the 4.236 Fibonacci extension level. I will not be looking at that, rather I will be looking at the 3.618 Fibonacci retracement level, because of course when you take a look at the market cap of Ethereum, yes, it was going to the full extension Fibonacci, but the price itself was stopped at the 3.618 Fibonacci extension level. Now, should we go back to JASMY and pretty much apply the same concept right there? Remember, we are grabbing our Fibonacci retracement 2 from the very top there to the bottom, and we are considering this right here as the bottom, nice and easy. We are looking at the 3.618 as our next price target, and that is taking JASMY to right about, let's just quickly zoom that, nice and easy, $1.18. That is almost $1.20, right? So it just depends on my accuracy in pinpointing like the top and the bottom for the JASMY price, but rather the rounded value here is something like $1.20. This is where I keep saying that there is actually a big possibility that JASMY can go and reach something like $1.20 as my best case scenario. Now, obviously, as a trader, as an investor, you also want to be looking at like what is the conservative approach. So 54 cents doesn't look too crazy. 86 cents, okay, if that happens, that's great. But most of my exit, to be honest with you, I would rather be doing right around 54 cents. It's looking like it's much more guaranteed, but you know, you never have too much confidence. Again, I was saying that JASMY has to hold this low here at 1.4 cents. Now, the good thing is that when you look short term here on the JASMY price, that we have somewhat of a positive structure that I have been saying throughout this week, that we have got this waterfall crash. We usually have a V-shaped recovery, back test the lows one more time, and then you go out of there. So that will be fantastic, right? Let me quickly illustrate to you how that actually has worked previously on the JASMY price. That we obviously have got examples. You see this waterfall crash, V-shaped recovery, back test the lows one more time, and then off and away you go right there. So this is not the only time, of course. We have this happening multiple times here on the JASMY price. That let me quickly show you two examples here. Another one that is very much easy to spot is this right here, back then in August 2023, and we can clearly see the waterfall crash, the V-shaped recovery, support here, back test the lows one more time, and then off and away you go. Now, what happens here, whether you're going to be setting a new high or you're going to be visiting the lows one more time, is to be determined later on. But for now, we have to be optimistic that at least if JASMY holds the support level here, let me quickly give you the figures. Right around 1.8 cents as the last line in the sand, we can be confident of a bounce because we have the same structure that we have usually seen before. And right from the main support level, we'll be looking at around something like 43% or something like that. That will be great for the JASMY price. That the earlier it does this, the better. But let me also tell you that the condition is that once we are breaking and closing candles outside of 1.8 cents here, that is not going to be looking too pretty for the JASMY price. That we would have to focus more on the next support level here, that is right around 1.4 cents here for JASMY. So I think you have the whole picture now of how I'm looking at the JASMY price right at this point. I just want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for JASMY content will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, I want to kindly ask you to subscribe, because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. And with that being said, remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, alright? But if you like the content, don't forget to delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and then I would have to see you on the very next one. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Bye.